I'm talking about Dangerous Dan McGrew. And it pleasures me to be able to share with you here tonight the way the man from the creek finally done old Dan in. Now, it happened like this, you see. A bunch of the boys is hooping it up in the Malamute Saloon. The kid that handled the music box is hitting a jag-time tune, and back of the bar, in a solo game, sat Dangerous Dan McGrew. And watching his luck was his light of love, the lady that's known as Lou. Well, now the night, which is 50 below, and into the din and the glare, there stumbled this miner, fresh from the creek, dog dirty and loaded for bear. Man, he looked like a man had a foot in the grave, scarcely the strength of a louse. Yet he tilted his polka dust on the bar and didn't call for drinks on the house. Well, there was none could place that stranger's face, so we searched our heads for a clue. But regretting his health, and the last to drink was Dangerous Dan McGrew. You know these men that just seem to grip your eyes and hold them hard like a spell. And such was he. And he looked to me like a man that had lived in hell, with a face most hair and a dreary stare of a dog whose day is done. He wanted a whiskey in his glass, and the drops fell one by one. And I got to wondering who he was. And I was trying to figure out what he'd do. And I turned my head, and there, watching him, was a lady that's known as Lou. And in his eyes went a rubber around the room, and, well, he seemed in a kind of a daze. Until at last that old piano fell in the way of his wondering gaze. The ragtime kid was having a drink, and there was nobody else on the stool. So that stranger, he stumbles across the room and flops down there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat, and I watched him sway. And then he touched the keys with his taloned hands. Good Lord, how that man could play. Say, was you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear, and the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence you most could hear, with only the howl of a timber wolf as you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark, dead world, clean mad for the muck-cold gold, while overhead, green, yellow, and red, the north lights swept in bars. With any of a hunch what that music meant? Hunger, night, and the stars. Hunger not the belly kind that you could banish with bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of lonely men for a home and all that it means. For a fireside far from the cares that are, four walls with a roof above, also crammed full of cozy joy and crowned by a woman's love. A woman that's dear than all the world and true as heaven is true. Good Lord, how ghastly she looks through her rouge, a lady that's known as Lou. And then all of a sudden the music changed, and it was so soft that you scarce could hear. Yeah, but you felt that your life had been looted clean of all that it once held dear. That someone had stolen the woman you love, and that her love was a devil's lie, and that she guts was gone, and the best for you was to crawl away and die. It was a crowning cry of a heart's despair that thrilled you through and through. I guess I'll make her a spread misere, said Dangerous Dan McGrew. The music almost died away. And then it burst like a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes just drained with blood. The thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash. And then the lust awoke to kill, and the music stopped with a crash. And the stranger turned, and his eyes, they burned in a most peculiar way. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat, and I watched him sway. And then his lips went in a kind of a grin, and his voice was candid. Boys, says he, you don't know me, and none of ye gives a damn. But I want to state that my words is straight, and I bet my poker true. And one of ye is a hound to hell, and that one is Dan McGrew. Then it ducked ahead and the lights went out, and two guns blazed in the dark. the breast of the lady that's known as Blue. Now, there's the simple facts of the case I guess I ought to know. They say that stranger is crazy with hooch. I ain't denying it's so. I ain't so wise as all them lawyer guys, but strictly between us two. The woman that kissed him and pinched his poke was a lady that's known as Blue. We love to talk about our Alaska wherever we are. Sometimes we get an opportunity to talk to millions of people, and it was thus when we were on the Today Show. You got 3 minutes, they said. So this is what they heard for 3 minutes on the Today Show. Alaska, where the virgin peaks pierce the ever-changing sky. Alaska, where the crystal creeks cascade before the eye, and the bold and barren tundras roll, and the wind-swept grasses sigh. Alaska, where the glaciers gash their gateway to the seas, and the brilliant blue fjords embrace the tall, green Tongass trees, and that long and lonesome highway calls from Fairbanks to Valdez. Alaska, where the winter locks the land in lace and snow, and the slanted northern sun rays spread their soft and golden glow, and the wonder of the wilderness is everywhere you go. My Alaska, where the sudden spring comes thundering along, and the burst of bud and blossom fills each bird in flight with song, and the land where summer carpets spread so wild and free and strong. Alaska is a land of lots of room with a crisp, clean atmosphere. Alaska, giant treasure store, our nation's last frontier. Alaska calls me home again, a clarion loud and clear. Yes, Alaska beckons now, today, as she has and always will. Make me men to match my mountains, full of fiber and strength and skill. Send me women, too, and children with a cherished dream to fill. Alaska was built by pioneers and steady, sturdy toil, where the old whiskered sourdough fought the permafrosted soil. Alaska, where the fishing's grand, and we've got farming and timber and oil. Alaska's clear and certain call is a kind of feeling in the air, where busy people still take time to meet and talk and share. Frontier friendship flourishes, and your fellow man will care. Ah, my Alaska, have you seen it? Where the dog teams race and run. Seen her multicolored fiery sky and her mystic midnight sun. The solitary eagle soar and her big game on the run. Alaska wants you and calls you, and she whispers, come to see my vast unpeopled spaces and my awesome Arctic sea. She calls, friends, and I'm going. Won't you journey home with me? Travel around, we get a chance to talk to live audiences too. We were down in Fort Worth, Texas. There we were in the second largest state. So we had a chance to talk to all those Texans. They expected to hear something about our Alaska. I'm not quite sure they expected to hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Larry Beck, Alaska's official ambassador of goodwill. I'm very proud and happy to be here deep in the heart of Texas to give you all a warm and cordial greeting from my Alaskan friends, and to invite you all to come north to taste the last frontier, to enjoy it with us. I'm also here to talk a little bit about Alaska, but I want to put your Texas hearts at ease. I have not come down deep in the heart of Texas to brag about the 49th state. However, since you are here and you've indicated an interest, I thought I might get by with pointing out just some of the unique things about Alaska, keeping my voice down so that you won't think I'm bragging. First of all, we're the widest state in the Union. Now, I hope nobody has any questions about that, but if you do, sometime take a map of Alaska and a map of the United States, superimpose, same scale. You'll find that Alaska stretches from Savannah, Georgia, clear out to San Diego, California, coast to coast, which causes some problems up there. As you imagine, we have 4 time zones then, the same as the United States. And think of that, all in one state, 4 different time zones. And then I could take you out to the end of the Aleutian chain. We would come to a tiny island called Attu. Now, they bent the time zone so as not to confuse our good Aleutian Alaskans, but geographically, obviously, when you look at the map, Attu is in tomorrow. Or yesterday, I forget which it is out there all the time, but at any rate, we are very wide. Now, since they're playing around with the 180th, which is the international date line, you could look again at the map, and it's obvious that Alaska is the furthest east state at the same time it's the furthest west state, which is at least quite unique. And then because of our far north and our far west position, Alaska, we have some very interesting